So students, before we started, we were at no flaps, no degrees. The wing had no flap deployment. For takeoff, we need to lower the flaps 5 degrees. And so now it's leveled with 5. That provides more lift. Remember Bernoulli's principle we had talked about.
Sure. Okay. What do you think? Are you ready to take off?
Sure.
Okay. So we'll release the parking brake. So if you put your toes in the top of the puddle and release the brake here. Okay. And you grab the thrust lever. And what you want to do is we typically take the carrots up to about 40%, the 4 here. So kind of walk them up. And you'll see how these move up. Set them up 40. You can leave them right there.
Is that 25%? I'm looking at the right numbers.
Correct. And see where the predictive. So now we're about, that's fine. You can leave them there, about 40%. Okay. And we turned on some of the automatic systems. So we turned on the auto throttles. Notice how we're starting to roll down the runway.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Okay. If you click this top button right up here, it'll bring the thrust levers up for you. See how they run up for you? Your power comes up. Here's our airspeed. Okay. You'll start to see that come up. And I'll tell you when to slowly pull the control wheel back. See, we're at 70 knots, 80 knots, and tracked in the center line like you are with the rudder pedals. Okay, now you can do a slow rotation. Keep rotating back. There we go. Keep coming back. Keep coming back. Hold it about right there.
Okay. We go gear up?
We go gear up. And now, one of the principles we have in the aircraft is trim controls. So see how if you let go of the control wheel, see how the airplane wants the nose down?
Yeah.
We might want to keep it in a spot where we don't have to have pressure on the control wheel. So we can run the trim, which is these switches right here,
okay,
to alleviate the pressure. So when you let go of the control wheel,
it's like on my boat.
Yeah, exactly, just like a boat.
So do I push down the trim to make the nose go up?
Exactly. You pull down the trim, the nose goes up. You run the trim forward, and the nose goes down.
And so we're currently at 174 knots. Where's our altimeter?
Our altimeter is right over 2,000 feet. So we want to go and accelerate the airplane and then bring the flaps up. So we'll go and push the nose over a little bit.
Okay.
And if you want to fly, I can operate the flaps.
Okay.
So go and push the nose over. Maybe we can level off at 3,000 feet. Keep pushing the nose over. See how the speed's starting to come up? Now we can start to bring the flaps up as we accelerate. And you'll notice this as I bring the flaps up, exactly, there'll be some aerodynamic shift in the way the airplane wants to fly. Okay. And see how the nose is starting to drop?
Oh, yeah.
That's a relationship with pitch and power. So now you can add some power in, right about there. And why don't you go and do a right turn?
Use the rudder to turn?
We have a system that the rudder operates automatically.
Oh, okay.
There you go. And so there's a component, right? When you add lift, you also create some drag, right? So there's and you have your class look at this up. It's called the horizontal component of lift. So when we go in the turn, right? We're going to add a little bit of drag because the ailerons, we have to pull back a little bit. And so I think you have a little bit of maybe a back pressure on, right?
Yep.
You're doing a nice job. And keep your turn coming around. Turning. Keep turning, yeah. Your turn coming around. Turning. Keep turning, yeah.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
That's a little too tight of a turn.
The fighter jet.
There you go. So keep the descent coming down. And then one of the things we want to do is we're going to start wanting to slow down, right, to come into land. So we got to start bringing our flaps out.
When should I, now?
Yeah, we can go now. So we're just above there.
Twitch flap.
Just go to 1, flaps 1. And then we'll see on here, we have a 1 bug that came up here. So then we'll go and slow the aircraft down to the 1 speed. And notice the feel of when the flaps come out. The airplane wants to kind of balloon up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just go to the right a little bit here because the runway's over there. So turn to the right. See how the airplane wanted to balloon up there?
Mm-hmm.
And keep the nose coming down. It's 25. 30. We do a landing checklist. I'll do this: speed brakes, arm green light, gears down 3 green, and flaps are 30, green light.
You have to stop the settings so quickly.
So one of the things that can really help you out is the power of the aircraft. If you set a known power setting, because remember when we add power and take power out, the airplane wants to pitch up or descend.
So give it a little power.
Yeah, so let's do this. Let's just set about 57% and then keep pitching down. There you go. Just a hair slow. We're going to get back on our speed here. Okay. Okay. Coming out. Add a little bit of power here, just a little bit slow.
500.
So what we want to do is we want to pick a point on the runway and see the white paint stripping on the runway.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of picking an aim point. We're going to aim for that.
The white little squares.
Yeah, the big squares, exactly. And so that's where we're going to aim our nose in. And as we get about 20 feet above the ground, we're going to slowly walk the power out.
Okay.
And we're going to go ahead and do a flare maneuver, which is slowly pull back on the aircraft. So I got your power for you.
Okay.
So keep aiming for that. There you go. Keep aiming for that. Keep aiming. Keep aiming. No, don't pull back yet. Don't pull back. Keep coming down. Okay, now start to pull back. There's a speed brake come out. And now we got to act the thrust reverser. So keep steering with your left and right feet. And you can pull these levers out up here. Reach up, pull these out. And those take the thrust. And instead of sending it back, it deflects it forward to slow us down. And then we could get back on center line over here. And we can start to use the tops of the rudder pedals for the brakes. There you go. Come to a stop. There you go. Cool. What'd you think?
That's awesome.
I think you did great. Let's go ahead and try. You want
The
to?
Captain Joey's going to make things maybe a little more interesting than the vanilla flying that I was doing. Okay.
Do you want to take me over and we'll do a take you to 1/6 left and we'll do. You want to do a engine failure on takeoff, or you want to do?
We'll do an engine failure on takeoff.
Okay. You want to take me to 16 left? Give me an engine failure with an engine fire.
Hey, kids, can you stop with the chat? Because I can't turn off your chat. So I'm going to have to rely on you guys being self-monitored. Hey, while we're waiting for him to do that, if you lose one engine and you have to use the rudder to balance out the plane, what Newton's law most applies? Co-pilot Elijah.
Or every action demands an opposite and equal reaction.
Oh, did you say number 3? Law 3? Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Ah, well done. Interesting. What about knowing the weight of a plane? Next person. Okay. Why is it? Which Newton's law comes into play? Having to know how many people and cargo and fuel you have on board. So they use their paddle hand up if they want to answer it. Otherwise, I'm going right back to co-pilot. Eliana. Eliana, go ahead.
rate times mass equals acceleration?
Very close. What number law is that?
I think that's number 2.
Okay, and what is the F equals force? Say it again.
Force times mass equals acceleration.
Close enough, very close. Who else wants to give it a shot? Benjamin, you want to try it?
I'd say maybe. Okay, I don't.
That's okay. We have Quinn with his hand in the air. It is. What's the equation?
Force times mass.
Oh,
I got
so
V1
close.
at 145. Oh, let's see you guys show.
Let's before we take off, let's who wants to tell have a fun fact you want to tell? You turned your camera off, Frederick.
No, I also like
Okay, who has a fun fact for the camera? Tegan.
So this is one about Alaska Airlines. Alaska Airlines is the 5th largest U.S. airline based on passenger traffic and is one of the most popular U.S. West Coast air carriers. And one about the 737 is it would take about 50 gallons of paint to paint the typical 737.
That's a lot of paint.
That's a lot of paint.
Thanks for the fun fact.
Yeah. Can I ask, what do you think will happen when we lose an engine on takeoff? Oh.
Just pick a name.
Benjamin, is that right? Or,
yeah, Benjamin.
I think if you would, like, if an engine would fail or something,
Yeah.
I think one of the engines would push the plane one way because it would have to have two engines of force to push it straight. And if one of them disappears, it'll have to try to make it turn.
Exactly. It's called asymmetrical thrust. And so what control surface would help us counteract that? Quinn.
Maybe like shutting off the other engine.
Well, that would, but what about that's true. That yeah, that is true. But if we wanted to keep the other engine running, is there any control that you think we could use? Remember, we have the rudder pedals, and we have the aileron and the elevator. Of those three, is there one that you could think of that would help us keep the aircraft straight? Oh, Benjamin?
I would probably say maybe a rudder pedal.
You got it. That's exactly it. The rudder will keep us straight.
Something I forgot to do real quick. There's an engine on takeoff, class. Be careful. Get those seatbelts on.
There's 80 knots. There's a warning. You can. You want to fail the engine? Is it?
What's that? Oh,
That was gonna.
oh I think like me.
I think we got the fire. Did you want to kill the engine? Or you just got the fire in there? You can go to the failure too on that. See the control of the aircraft. See we're tracking straight. Watch what happens when I take my foot off the rudder.
I'm worried that I ended them.
Oh. Hands are off the control wheel, and I'm just using the rudder pedal to keep the airplane centered up. And when I let go of the rudder, can they see outside? I'll show you. Watch what happens. See who wants to yaw over?
Well, you can see Mount Rainier.
Did you know that Alaska Airlines has 23,376 employees?
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Anybody else for a quick fun fact? Hilaria, go ahead.
Okay, give me a minute.
Well, you have to find it. Not a minute.
Your God's on squadron.
Eliana, fun fact.
You have 321 aircraft, and
Who has 321 aircraft?
Alaska Airlines has 321 aircraft.
Oh, I think you said I did. I was excited for a minute.
Yeah.
And the Boeing 737 has made multiple changes and upgrades since the original 737 took flight, including an improved wing design, upgraded glass cockpit, and winglets, and more efficient engine.
That's pretty accurate.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done, Eliana.
I got it straight.
Yeah. Okay.
At least you got your
Yeah.
your sources.
Yeah. Okay. Well, should we go fly?
Let's fly. Well done, Fritz Fries. Best virtual field trip ever.